Hey again, YouTube. Steve from Tactical Pause here. First video, so I'm going to go ahead and do it on my personal AR. This is my favorite AR. It's a LWRC SPR. I haven't really seen a lot of videos on it. There's probably maybe 3 or 4 that are credible, but none of them really go into detail about the rifle. I know a lot of people are skeptical about the piston ARs. If you do go with a piston AR, I definitely recommend LWRC. It's my second LWRC. But what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'll change the camera angle, bring you guys closer in, and we'll go ahead and walk through this. Alright, so a little bit closer up, here's the LWRC SPR. Stands for Special Purpose Rifle. Alright, just a little background. If you guys don't know who LWRC is, I don't know where you've been, but I think they're probably one of the best piston AR manufacturers to date. Like I said earlier, this is my second piston AR. It's my second LWRC AR, and I'm a believer in the LWRC. This particular one is obviously it's Cerakoted in their flat dark earth that they do straight from the factory. I happened to get this before they started charging extra for it. I think now they charge like $300 extra for the FDE Cerakote. But I did get the 14.5 inch pin and welded barrel straight from the factory. They'll do it for you. And one good thing I like about this barrel is that it's spiral fluted. And LWRC claims that 20% of the barrel weight is lost due to the spiral fluting. Now I would say that that's probably about accurate. But another thing that I like about it is it's actually not as heavy as you would think it would be for a piston AR. I mean, yeah, you're definitely going to notice a lot of weight difference between a piston and a DI gun, for sure. But that is why I went with the 14.5 inch barrel, because I knew that weight was going to get to me. If you guys watch more of my videos that I'm going to do, I like any type of weapon system that I'm working with to be as light as possible and to be as streamlined as possible. But I'll get into that. But it does have the AAC blackout flash hider. I do like this flash hider. I've used it a lot on other rifles, and it works. I'm not a big fan of muzzle brakes. I think muzzle brakes do have their place, for sure, but not for me personally. I don't like it. I have been in rooms where people have been shooting muzzle brakes and right next to me, and I don't want to make someone else be in that position that I was in. So I don't use muzzle brakes a lot. Although I do like them, they do help, but I'm just not a fan for most weapon systems. But I'll go ahead and just walk you guys through what I've done to it. I know people who do have the SPR, the first thing that they're going to notice are the grips on the handguard. The handguard is extremely thin, and I'm a relatively small guy. I'm only 5'7", and I can get my hand all the way around the handguard. So I mean, it's very, very thin. I wouldn't say it's as small as like a Troy Alpha rail, but it's definitely very, very close. But what I did here is I took the Magpul XTM panels that just go right over a rail, and I just took a Dremel tool, smoothed them out, and used the screws that you get with the SPR or Reaper, whatever the screws are for the LWRC rifles, and I just screwed them in 2 places, and it's held up. I don't even know how many rounds I've had through this gun, but I mean it works. Another thing is, if you like to run hand stops, this is a LaRue hand stop, and it's the hand stop for their OBR rifle. The difference between just the regular hand stop and the OBR hand stop is the OBR hand stop actually has the screw in it, which is just right here, and it actually fits on the LWRC SPR and takes the standard screw that comes with the rails that you get with the SPR. So if you do like running a hand stop and you don't want to add that extra weight with rails, I don't like adding extra weight, I don't like extra rails. I mount everything to the top of all my rifles if I can. Then the hand stop is an outstanding choice, because it's already drilled for you. I think it's like $2 extra for the set because you get 2, and I really like it. It works out great. I get a very good purchase It is a little bit stippled on the front, and I actually really like it. Another thing that you guys probably see is the tack light that I have. This is actually a Phoenix PD20. It's designed to be like an EDC light. It has 180 lumens. It's got 3 features. It's got a low, medium, and a bright setting, and it's even got a strobe setting. And that just depends on how you actually turn the top of it, if you want just monetary on and off. But if you tighten it down all the way, you can hit the strobe. But if you twist it to loosen it, then that's what gives you your actual settings. So, 180 lumens, and it's only 60 bucks. So if you guys want a good tack light that has actually held up for me, I have it on my AK as well. Same setup. I definitely recommend this. And the mount that it's on is actually a gear sector mount. It's for their Surefire, I want to say their E series. But I love this mount. If you guys have never heard of Gear Sector, go check them out. Gear Sector makes some awesome stuff. Very lightweight, very well made. The anodizing is awesome. Definitely check them out. Now, if this flashlight was any thicker, it wouldn't fit. Like, I had to use a screwdriver just to push it in just a little bit, but it'll fit, and the screw will actually screw down. But I definitely recommend this setup. This setup now it's $110. I got this for $100 because it's I got it for $40 for the light, $60 for the mount. Now I think that the light has gone up to $50. So you're looking at $110 for this setup, which is still less than a Surefire Scout. So with 180 lumens. So 180 lumens is pretty good. I definitely recommend it. The LWRCs come with these backup iron sights. They're almost like the Troy's. I think they might be actually made by Troy, because I know on the M6A2 LWRC that I had, they had Troy sights on them, and they were outstanding. I like these too. The front sight is the same, it just has a different slope angle on the front, but the rear sight is a little different. It has like the new battle sights, and I like it just fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. Obviously, you guys see that I'm running the Aimpoint Micro. This is the T1. I got a good deal from LaRue, couldn't pass it up, and go ahead and went with it. And what I did was, I just wanted to make sure that LaRue was what they claimed to be, and I took it off, left it off the rifle, shot a couple rounds, put it back on, and zero maintained at 100 yards. So yeah, if you guys were wondering about LaRue's, yeah, they're definitely the way to go. This gun also comes with the Magpul Myag grip. I don't mind this grip. I think it's a great grip. Like I said, I have small hands, so anything that's interchangeable for me, so when I add gloves, if I'm shooting in cold weather or something, I definitely like that option. It also comes with the ACS stock. I do like this stock. It is a little long and a little heavy for me, but it does work. It's very good. Now, one thing that I did change on it, I put the Magpul ASAP sling plate adapter on here. Now, it comes with a QD point, LWRC's own QD attachment, and it has 3, one left, right, and then one directly behind. I don't like QD, I don't like using it because I'm just not a fan of quick detach for ARs, but that's just me. It also comes with the Mod 4 BCM charging handle. Love this charging handle. I bought an extra one just because I could. It's definitely the way to go. The bolt carrier, as you see here, is with their nickel boron coating. It's actually called Nicor, and I have done the whole frog lube treatment on this rifle, and I'll tell you what, I didn't even need to treat the bolt carrier itself because it's so slick. It's not lubed right now, and I tell you what, it feels like it is because it's so smooth, and it runs too. Even if you put it in slow, it engages, it locks in the battery. So it's definitely an outstanding bolt carrier. I do wish that they made bolt carriers for DI guns, because that'd be the only bolt carrier I would buy. But it's held up. You guys probably see the Magpul bad lever. I don't like using this bad lever for what I'm doing emergency reloads. The only reason that I have it on here is because I like using it for when I have a malfunction, or if I ever have a malfunction. I have never had a malfunction with this gun. It runs good. But that's the only reason I would recommend to have a bad lever, is for malfunctions, so that way you're not losing your grip on the pistol grip itself. You're actually keeping one hand to maintain positive control with your rifle. The trigger is actually just LWRC's own mil-spec trigger. It's not a bad trigger. I actually prefer mil-spec triggers. Like I said in my very first video, I served in the military for a number of years, and I'm just used to a mil-spec trigger. I have shot the guys, the SSAs, the SSAE. I've shot Timonees. I've shot all kinds of triggers, but one thing about the mil-spec triggers, they're not going to fail. I've seen like the higher end triggers fail in classes, and I'm just not. I don't want something that fails. I want something that's going to work, and it's going to work every time. So I also run the Magpul MS3 sling. I run this sling on my AK as well. I have an Echo 9.3 sling plate adapter on my AK, and I'll probably do another video on the AK because it's a pretty interesting story about my AK. But I do like running single point slings, especially on my AR. I like running single points. I don't like how whenever I'm doing an actual reload, I don't like having a sling coming right here in front of me. Especially if you ever work in low light environments, you'll know you don't want any obstruction when you have to do an emergency reload. Emergency reload, you want those to be fast, you want to be swift. So with this, I'm getting very good accuracy results, and I've shot all kinds of stuff through it. I've never shot any steel through this one. I've shot steel through my M6A2, and it ran it. You just need to make sure you clean out gunk and stuff like that from the chamber every, I don't know, I did it every 25 rounds, but that was just planking. This I run either Federal XM193 or I run PMC Bronze if I'm plinking, and it works, and I've never had a malfunction with it, not one single malfunction. I've never heard of anyone getting serious malfunctions with their LWRCs, but I'm sure it's happened. People just running it really, really hard in adverse conditions. There's tons of videos of LWRCs being disassembled, had to disassemble the piston and all that. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But I just wanted to give a quick overview of the LWRC SPR. It's definitely my go-to AR. If I had to pick an AR that was piston, I would definitely pick this rifle for sure. But I don't want to get into that whole DI versus piston debate. I think each one of them have their advantages, their disadvantages. Actually, a good video to watch is actually James Yeager's video on piston versus DI, and he gives the explanation perfect. It's very, very down to earth. Just go ahead and watch his video on it. Simplifies it very, very good for you. But that's it. If you have any questions or comments about the rifle, you want me to do another in-depth video of it, you want me to go further into it, or if you have questions about why I did certain things to it, just go ahead and leave a comment, because I like going lightweight with everything I have, because the first thing I've always seen on people whenever they're running ARs or any type of rifle is their arms and shoulders. They go first, and since that's going to be operating your rifle probably most of the time, it's going to be the first thing to drop due to muscle fatigue. So I like keeping everything as light as I can. Alright, well, like I said, that's a review of the LWRC SPR. Leave comments, leave questions. Hopefully I'll have another video up shortly. Thanks for watching my first actual gun review video. Hopefully more will be on the way. Alright, thank you.